Kelly, and this is Kelly's Corner of Nightmares. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. This is going to be my first time doing a collab on this channel, on any channel really, because this is my only channel, with the wonderful and amazing Amanda from Confessions of a Horror Freak. You should really check out her channel. It's amazing. Anything horror related, she's got you down. This is your girl as far as horror things, and today I am going to be collabing with her. Today we're going to be actually talking about our rankings for the top 5 Scream franchise kills.
Hey everyone, I am Amanda of Confessions of a Horror Freak. Thank you so much for Kelly for having me here on her channel. It's a pleasure. This is my first collab ever on YouTube. I'm a huge horror fan just as her, and I am really excited to be here talking to you about my 5 favorite deaths in the Scream franchise. I love Ghostface, can't wait to watch Scream 5 next week, and I love this shirt also. It's from Hot Topic, the best store. I'm not sponsored, but just in case. Well, I am really excited, like I said, and further ado, let's get into my top 5 favorites that's of Scream.
My number 5 is Tyson from Scream 3. So, with that being said, I'm gonna set the scene a little bit. So there's like this house, it's about 2 or 3 stories high, and everyone's just like scattered around doing this whole Scooby-Doo moment, you know, just like running this way, running that way, trying to find Ghostface. Now, Ghostface finds Tyson, gets right behind him, and he grabs him, smashes him into a glass armoire type thing, keeps a hold of him, just runs out the door onto this balcony thing and throws him off. And I'm just like, what? Like, oh my god. You don't even have to see what the aftermath was with that. Like, you know it's bad. But anyway, that was my number 5.
My number 5 for me, it's the death of Olivia Morris on Scream 4. The reality is that I wasn't expecting her to be the one who get killed on this scene, but I liked her death a lot, especially because of the amount of blood. I like when deaths get creative, and in this case, along with the stabbing, there was a lot of blood, of course, a lot of fighting and screams. Also, we have the other characters trying to get involved with this and watching what is happening to her. And also the end of that death, that is the gutting thing, I loved it. I think that was the cherry on top of it. I really like it a lot.
Okay, so now I have my number 4, which is Cotton's death in the opening of Scream 3. This one was brutal because, you know, everyone thought that it was him. And, you know, he's been trying to clear his name for so long that, you know, it's just like, oh my god. So he's in the room with his girlfriend. She's accusing him of, like, messing with her because, I mean, who wouldn't at this point? Everybody thinks that it's him. So she's threatening him with a baseball bat and, you know, how could you do this? Blah, 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 you know. Ghostface barges in and just, you know, she's dead. You know, mighty dead. And then he was like, oh shit. So he puts up a fight and, like, he's fighting with him, but then Ghostface stabs him twice in the chest, I believe. And it was just brutal because, you know, that he spent all this time trying to clear his name. Everyone thought he was the one. He was it. That was the killer. But, you know, proving himself right, and, you know, in the meantime getting stabbed and murdered for it. I mean, it's just, that one was an emotional death. Just a little bit. Like, the death itself wasn't emotional, but it was emotional, like, in the long haul. Do you know what I mean? Anyway,
Now, my number 4 is Jill Roberts, also from Scream 4. She is, well, spoiler alert, one of the Ghostface of this movie. I really like her death because she's basically dying right at the end of the movie by the hands of Sydney. She basically electrocutes her on the hospital. And I think that was brilliant. Of course, a little bit predictable on the side. Watching Sydney taking the things while we have Gail trying to like take Jill like the attention away from Sydney from a brief moment, but still I really like it a lot, especially because Jill is a type of character that you will hate it, but at the same time you will love it because she was a copycat. She would try to be the new Sydney, of course, and her attitude and something, you would hate her, but at the same time you'll be like, damn girl, damn. So it was like a love-hate relationship here, but at the same time, like I said, I really liked her dead because definitely I didn't want her alive. For me, one of the best parts, I'm sorry, sounds weird, but one for me the best parts is watching the Ghostface die. And on this case, I really like it the way that she ended.
number 3 is Steven from Scream 1. And this is in the opening with Drew Barrymore. So this is like her ex-boyfriend or boyfriend or something like that. And he's over here bound and gagged with duct tape on a chair by the pool. And then he's just like, oh, like gutted. And it's like, uh. Like, you do not want to die that way. That's just brutal. So brutal and psychotic. Like, who does that? Oof. I wouldn't want to die like that, that's for sure.
Now, on my number 3, I have the death of Maureen Evans. This is basically the opening scene of Scream 2. Of course, the opening scenes on Scream are like the big thing because thanks to the first one, this one of the most expected moments of the movie is watching those first minutes. So, of course, having Jada Pink Smith here, she's watching, we could say, a parody of Scream on Scream 2 with a lot of Ghostface around her. Of course, it builds up the tension from the very beginning because, of course, we've seen so many people with the mask that you could be thinking maybe a killer could be there, and it is. But people actually think that her death was part of the whole presentation of the movie. But still, I really loved it how it built up the tension to the very end of her death, and it was really dramatic. But also, that's the thing with Scream. They can make this and could be funny, but that's Scream. Like, because it makes jokes about the cliches and the stuff. That's what makes Scream so good. And the reality for me, it was brilliant.
Alright, so we're gonna fast forward to the end of Scream 1 with Stu getting smashed in the face by a TV with it electrifying him. And he dies from, none other than Sydney Prescott herself, the badass of the entire franchise. I just thought that was like such a cool death. Like, you do not want that to happen to you.
My number 2 is the death of Tatum Riley from Scream. Her head is basically smashed with the garage door thanks to Billy. The reality is that I like the whole scene, not just her death, although for a brief moment you know that it's a doll. Like, if you really look closely, you're going, of course, to glance the fact that it's a plastic doll. No, of course, it's her. I mean, that's obvious. But I really like the whole scene with her having opening and closing the garage door, her with the beers, and then having Billy and her. Oh, do you want me to play the victim? Oh, please don't get me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be on the sequel. I mean, I love that phrase. I think that was it's pretty iconic in my opinion. So of course having her fighting with Ghostface and then dying that way, I just love it, especially the end when he opens the door that she wasn't able to. I just loved it.
Alright, so considering I really didn't like this movie that much, my number 1 pick is going to be Deputy Perkins' death from Scream 4. This one is like extremely brutal because like you don't see something like that coming. So to set the scene a little bit, the two different cops are like fucking with each other and like they're making jokes and shit, and he's hanging out like not Perkins, but the other cop is hanging out of the car just like slouching, and he gets right in the back, you know, and he gets thrown on the floor or on the ground. And then right after, just like, so it happens in like 2 seconds, Ghostface stabs him in the forehead, like right in the middle of the forehead, more than likely hitting brain. So he's like, oh, you know, like, oh god, what just happened? He gets out of the car and he's like, this motherfucker, I'm about to, you know, slice him open, you know, or like fight back a little bit, but he's like not even facing him. He can't see because his brain function probably doesn't even work at this point. And then he just, you know, falls to his death. And I'm just like, oh my god. Woo! Now that's a number one kill.
And my number one, and this is the ultimate classic, and is the Casey Becker death. I love her scene. I love Drew Barrymore as Casey Becker. For me, the excitement and what makes me feel this scene is something that I cannot even describe, because of course it builds up the tension. It's, of course, in that time was something that they have never saw before. So of course that's one of the main reasons why Scream is so popular, because it's making fun of the genre while at the same time is bringing new things to it. That's not something that anyone can do. Of course, killing the person that you have been marketing as a protagonist on the first 15 minutes and not making her the final girl that everyone is thinking, that's a really cool twist. And also the fact of how she died with the stabbing and then she being hanged and she being dragged with the phone, and of course the questions, the whole scene, everything. It's, I mean, it's the most iconic thing of the whole franchise. Like, what's your favorite scary movie? And the whole phone call thing. But at the end, it's, she's at least, well, she's the second dead on screen, at least because her boyfriend comes first. But still, it's like the first glance of what we can be expecting of the movie and eventually, of course, of the franchise. So, of course, for me, it's everything. So of course, I even did a cosplay of her because I love her so much, although she's just that much of that short of the movie. But I really, really like this scene. Probably a little bit cliche since it's of the first one, but I just loved it. And well, this is all for my list. Once again, thank you so much, Kelly, for having me here. It was a pleasure. You guys can find me here on YouTube as Confessions of a Horror Freak, or my social medias as underscore Amanda Munoz. And I hope you guys to see you once again pretty soon. And I hope that I can come back here maybe sometime. And Kelly, once again, thank you so much. And I wish you the best and a lot of success on your channel too. It was a pleasure. Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's collaboration with Amanda, Confessions of a Horror Freak. Don't forget to subscribe to her as well. We'll have her link down below. And I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you like and subscribe, and don't forget that little bell. Hit that, you know, just in case. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day.